Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, before we begin today's show, I would like to take 1 minute to thank each and every person who has watched, liked, and shared my videos on the missing 14-year-old girl from New Sweden. For those of you who do not know, New Sweden is the next town over from where I live. 14-year-old Stephanie Damron walked into the woods on September 23rd, 2024, and has not been seen since. There will be a purple candle in each of my videos. We are joining the Light the Sky campaign to bring Stephanie home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing, liking, and watching my videos and helping bring awareness to the disappearance of this 14-year-old little girl. Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. Guys and ghouls, we're going back there. We're going back to the Conjuring house because things have happened, ladies and gentlemen, guys and ghouls. And I don't know. I don't know if this thing is ever going to end. Honestly, it's just absolute insanity that this story keeps rolling. And we're not doing the gossip end of it. We're not doing the gossipy gossip. We're not doing the newsy the reactions to every single thing that she does. We're not doing any of that. We're just doing the news part of it. I don't want to get caught up in all the drama and the speculation and the supposition. We're just kind of, as news actually comes out, we're talking about the Conjuring house here on Coffee with Kerri-Lynn since July. We're running our own franchise. And there's news. There's news. And it's absolutely mind-blowing. But before we begin, we are awaiting a rainstorm. We're going to have rain tomorrow on Wednesday and Thursday. And we're going to be up in the mid-40s. So all this beautiful white glittery snowshoe dust is probably going to go away. We're kind of running the same pattern as last year in the far north of Maine up along the Canadian border. And last year was not fun. 2 weeks before Christmas, we had 2 days of rain and we were in the 40s and 50s and the snow never came back. And everybody has it marked on their calendar because it was the first winter since the early 1960s that there was no snow on the ground from December to February. In the Crown of Maine, we all had to put up our Christmas toys early. We closed the snowmobile trails on February 28th. It was absolutely horrendous. But I hope y'all are having a wonderful day wherever you might be. I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee. You need a pot of good coffee and probably a couple Tylenol to deal with this Jacqueline mess. She's actually giving me a headache. It's just absolutely crazy and incredible. Now, last week, we talked about the news interview that Jacqueline Nunez did with WPRI Channel 12 in Rhode Island. And we pulled that all apart and we talked about all her narcissistic ways, how she thinks she's above the law, and the fact that she literally told the town of Burrillville she don't care that she doesn't have an operating license. She is going to operate anyways. Jasonhawes did a response video to Channel 12's news coverage of the interview with Jacqueline Nunez. And he put this up on December 5th. So go on over to Jason's YouTube at Jasonhawes and watch the entire episode that he did. He was just kind of letting everybody know where they all stood. They being the people that Jacqueline is maligning, berating, being abusive to, defaming on the public airwaves. And one interesting bit of information that was brought up was a text that was sent to Jenniferheinzen, the former owner of the Conjuring house. Remember, Jacqueline Nunez bought the Conjuring house in a very sneaky, slippery, underhanded way from Jen and her husband, Kerri-Lynn, back in 2022. So now y'all caught up. What ended up happening was Jacqueline sent Jenniferheinzen a text accusing Jen of stealing funds from the Conjuring house PayPal account. Now, when Jen and Kerri owned the Conjuring House, yes, they did have a PayPal that connected to their business, obviously. They have, since the sale, they separated that PayPal account from anything to do with the Conjuring House, but I guess it still exists somewhere on PayPal, whatever. Long story short, Jacqueline Nunez, after her interview with WPRI Channel 12 in Rhode Island, she sends Jenniferheinzen a text accusing Jen of stealing an employee's paycheck. She accused Jen of stealing Sage's paycheck. Sage, darling, you ain't getting paid. You know what this means, right? This means you're the next one. You're the next one on the I can't pay you, take me to court roster. And the disturbing part of the text that was sent to Jenniferheinzen was the response starting with F you in great Jacqueline fashion. And then Jacqueline goes on to say that she hopes Jen is extincted from the world. This was the day after the News Channel 12 interview with Jacqueline Nunez. Jacqueline Nunez sitting there so cold, so cringy, so put together, so unemotional. And then the next day she tells somebody that she hopes that they're off. This is absolute madness. This is how psychopaths operate. But then the story gets better. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world. On Friday evening, December 6th, in Burrillville, Rhode Island, a couple from Maryland flagged the police down to ask directions to the Conjuring House. Yes, they did. So what ended up happening was the Burrillville Police Department sent this couple on their merry way because they don't have an operating license at the Conjuring House. You can't take a tour. They can't, conduct any business with you. Great people from Maryland. So welcome to Rhode Island. Enjoy your stay, but you're not going to go to the Conjuring House. And the police ended up at the Conjuring House. And they ended up speaking to the general manager, Paige Thibodeau. And Paige is waiting for her guests. So Paige Thibodeau, the 25-year-old employee from Burrillville, Rhode Island, ended up getting cited for operating a business without a license. She is due in municipal court on December 16th to answer for this violation, which carries a $500 fine. The police will continue to spot check the property and catch more people that may or may not be trying to operate the Conjuring House. You see, ladies and gentlemen, in my last video, I told you that the penalty for operating without a business license in Rhode Island is a misdemeanor, and it does carry a $500 fine. Now, the question is, because Jacqueline Nunez was nowhere around when this happened, so everybody was wondering, will Jacqueline actually get the violation? Will Jacqueline actually get the fine if she's not there? And the answer is no. Jacqueline Nunez was not fined. Jacqueline Nunez did not get the misdemeanor against her. It was Paige Thibodeau that got the misdemeanor against her, and she is responsible for the $500 fine. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures, guys and ghouls, if you, being a general manager, a vice president, the owner of the company, or just a lowly employee, decide to open up a business for public usage after the town says you can't, you and you alone get the violation. So now the question is Jacqueline going to pay the fine? Is Jacqueline going to go to court with Paige on December 16th? And methinks not, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, because in Jason's video on December 5th that he put up, Brian is suing Jacqueline for a lot of money. And Jason disclosed to all of us that Jacqueline's never bothered to show up at court. She's missed court dates with Brian's case. So if you think that Jacqueline is going to show up with you, Miss Thibodeau, you're absolutely out of your mind. Jacqueline is going to leave you hanging in the dust, in the wind, blowing in the breeze. And quite frankly, I don't feel bad for anybody who knowingly violates and flaunts themselves to be above the law, especially business owners. You know better. And you can't tell me that the employees at the Conjuring House did not know that they were opening the doors without a business license, because we all know that they did, unless they've been living under a rock. But since they're there every day, I'm sure Jacqueline was spouting off like crazy about how the town of Burrillville took her license away. There's a news interview of Jacqueline Nunez saying that she was going to operate, warn the town of Burrillville she was going to operate, she's going to fight them, they're going to have to shut her down, and that is just what they did on December 6th. Oh, heck, I don't even own a TV for 20 years, and I still know what's going on with the Conjuring House, and anything I miss, I am absolutely told about by some of our great viewers and my family, because all my family lives in Rhode Island, and this is a big to-do in Rhode Island, and they know I'm covering the story. So anything that they hear on the street, they come and let me know. I have family that live out in the Burrillville way, so they hear a lot of little tidbits, but it's gossip, and until, it can be factualized, I can't say. But the gossip, let me tell you, the gossip in the town of Burrillville is hot, ladies and gentlemen, guys and ghouls, beautiful creatures of the world. And that's where we stand with the Conjuring House. Jacqueline said she was going to operate. Jacqueline operated through Paige Thibodeau, and now Paige Thibodeau, you're going to court, and you are responsible for a $500 fine. Good luck getting that money out of Jacqueline. You can try to sue her. She's not going to show up in court. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, that about wraps the Conjuring House up for today. I'm sure we'll be back on this subject. Be the kindness that you want to see in the world, guys and ghouls. Do not be Jacqueline Nunez, because she's not a nice person. She treats everybody very, very poorly, and she just works her way through every single person she encounters. So stay away from her. If you see Jacqueline Nunez in the market, run the other way, because something dramatic is going to happen. Just keeping the channel going. Ladies and gentlemen, I am one subscriber away from my goal of 400 subscribers by Christmas. Who's going to be that one more subscriber for me? It's just a Christmas wish. We set goals here, how many subscribers we'd like to have. And I am one subscriber away from 400. That's my goal for December 25th. So maybe you want to be that one subscriber that just gives me a wonderful, marvelous Christmas gift by subscribing. Like, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, carpe diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.